Hey everybody, welcome back. Taking an opportunity to talk about understanding and navigating your surroundings, knowing where you are, knowing how you can get in and out of something, especially your own neighborhood. And I've talked about it in videos before and alluded to the idea that there are a lot of people all across the country, all across the world, they don't even know what's in the next block. Whether you're living in a country area or you're living in an urban area, people nowadays really don't know their own surroundings. I've talked to people that they don't even know really how to get around driving within their own town, their own area, because they rely so heavily on the navigation. They listen to the directions from the navigation going back and forth to work like literally every day, but never learn the landmarks. So if it was off, they might be confused. And it's like you drive this almost every day of the week back and forth and you still don't know where you're going. You got to turn the navigation on just out of habit, but what if it was off? That's a scary concept. And thinking about, in particular, the recent situation in Ohio with the train derailment. What was that, East Palatine?
Yeah, East Palatine,
yeah.
Ohio.
They actually cordoned that off so that the residents could not leave at first. Go back and listen to the interviews. Those people were trapped there. Then they want them to leave. Okay, but while they were trapped there, what if they wanted to escape? What if there was a situation by which they said, okay, you know what? I really need to get out of here. The National Guard's been called out and the roads are blocked. Could those people get out? Do they know how? And do they have the skills to do it? Look at this. How many people do you think could navigate through here if they had to come off the trail? Here's the trail, which already is flooded. That would stop most people.
Yeah.
They're not going to trudge through that. I would, but what if they had to go around it and cut through here? Could they do it? Would they know where they were going? Do they know their surroundings at all? Because, okay, the roads are blocked, but maybe you could circumnavigate the roads, which means leaving your vehicle behind, which means having to travel on foot, which means walking. Back in the day, a day's travel was 20 miles. Could you walk 20 miles? Most people, they're huffing and puffing walking 20 feet to the mailbox. And you laugh, but it's the truth. If people go up one flight of stairs, whoo, I can't take it. Why not? What's wrong with you? You should be able to traverse this. You should know your surroundings. Do you have wooded areas around you? Have you walked around through it? Do you know where everything is? If there's power lines running through, do you know where those go? If you ever had to travel that route, and I know some people will sit there and say, oh, that's dangerous, you can get ambushed in there. You don't walk right down the middle. Come on, use some common sense.
Yeah.
But are there train tracks? Where do those tracks go? Are there trails? Where do the trails go? You can get trail maps for free at the library most of the time. If you were on that trail and you had to get off of it, could you find your way back to it if you had to go around? If there was a checkpoint perhaps on that trail and you're like, oh, I see some guys up there, maybe I better go around. Could you run down a ravine and go for a mile and come back up and be okay? Those are important. If you're living in the city, where does that alley lead to? What's on the next block? If there's a partition, what's on the other side of the wall? If you're in a densely populated city, are the roofs interconnected? I used to do that in Boston even when I was a kid. There's a lot of areas where the roofs are connected. I jump across to another rooftop, being silly, but you get the point. Know the area, know the surroundings. All the modern technology has robbed a lot of people of that. They've robbed a lot of people of their ability to identify landmarks, of getting around and knowing where they are, of being explorative and curious about their neighborhoods and the areas where they live, it's made them lazy. So even if you had to, if you said, all right, you know what, enough, I don't feel safe here anymore, I need to get out, and could you do it? I could cut through the woods, and about 10 miles this way. Can you get 10 miles through the woods? A lot of modern people can't do it. Can't do it. And I think these are important things to think about. And like I said, it's something that I've touched on in videos before, but you know, it sparked my curiosity again because of in Ohio when they blocked off that town at first, and looking at the people in that town and watching them in the interviews, and I'm like, those people wouldn't get out of there. They wouldn't get out of there. They couldn't possibly. That road is closed. Oh, all bets are off. They wouldn't even try. They wouldn't even try. And if it was some kind of really shady thing going on, and the government came door to door in the middle of the night, they'd all get caught up. They'd have nowhere to go, and they wouldn't know what to do. And so I put it out there. I mean, how well do you know your surroundings? Can you navigate? Do you know how to use a compass? Do you know how to get around without one? Do you know your area? If you ended up in an area you don't understand or identify with, could you traverse that terrain anyways? And these are all questions that you need to ask yourself. And you need to examine your surroundings unless you have some legitimate medical condition that prevents you from running around through the woods or running around through your neighborhood. It's not a bad idea to just go out and explore. Walk around through your neighborhood, walk around through the wooded areas, and just poke around and see what's what, where things lead. If you cut through a park, what neighborhood is it going to come out in? Things like that could save your ass in a situation.
Another thing, because we talked about this, because we walk through these woods all the time, and it's a lot of trails. It's some that's overgrown, some that's not, and we walk it and we see that we come out on certain roads, and it's like, whoa, okay, this leads to this road, and then we try to figure out where on this road we are. But we were talking yesterday, and I was like, okay, I know how to get from here, and the closest grocery store is Food Depot. We can get from our house through the woods to Food Depot. And if we go in the other direction, we can get to Kroger. Can you get to Walmart, the closest grocery store, the closest gas station, without ever walking on the road? And that's one thing. I mean, just try it. See if you can get to the closest shopping center, grocery store, gas station without walking on the road. Because if you had to flee or had to walk and get away, can you do it without being seen? Can you use it without using the road, walking physically on the road?
Yeah.
That's something to be able to do or know how to do.
Out in the open where somebody will ask you for your papers. Papers, please?
Yeah.
Do you have your federal ID? But it's just, again, a food for thought moment. You already know what to do. You know, I could sit there and give instructions all day long, but most people know what to do. They just don't do it. Are you doing it? Or do you need to? So throwing it out there, guys. Again, food for thought moment. Thoughts on that? Let me know what your thoughts are in the comment section down below. Please do give the video a thumbs up if you got something out of it. Share it if you can. Subscribe if you're new. All that good stuff. If you saw some random cat images in the video and you're new to the channel and you don't understand what that's all about, they're strays that my wife and I take care of, and images of them in the video actually help with the loading algorithm. If you wanted to help the channel out, or the cats for that matter, there are links for that down below. Every little bit helps, and we sure do appreciate it. And if that's it, then what more can I say but stay frosty, folks. And thanks for watching.